Hello, welcome to Kelly Legends Media. Okay, so the big news today is that Charlie Kirk was unalived at a university in Utah. He was a conservative politician, okay, and very outspoken about his beliefs and stuff. Very, very close to Trump. Some say that he was responsible of getting a lot of the young voters out to vote for Trump during the election. And they were talking about him all day this morning because he was in surgery and they were asking for prayers. He's the father of two children, and he also has a wife. And he didn't make it through the surgery. It seemed that he got hit somewhere near the neck and fell back over in his chair. He was out at the college talking to students, to different people in the community that came together to hear him speak. Okay. Now, at first, they were reporting that they had got this guy. They showed this old man on the floor. They're holding him down, and turned out they don't have a suspect in custody. Okay, but they were saying that they had that old man in custody. Several podcasters were showing him on their platforms. So no, they still don't know who did it. And whoever it was up to this point has gotten away. But you know how the government is. You know, the FBI is already down there investigating. And, you know, they're going to be checking cameras, people's phones. Same thing like they did with the Kennedy assassination. Until they get to the bottom of who this shooter was. Okay. But really, the reason why I'm making this video, because I didn't know Charlie Kirk until this morning. I've seen him as I'm clicking through channels, and I would listen to him a little bit, but I couldn't hang with the guy. You know, he was very much involved with MAGA, and you know, he agreed very much with what Trump's doing. And you know, I'm not saying everything that Trump does is wrong, but I disagree with a lot of things that he has done. But my point is regardless what Charlie Kirk's thinking was or what political stance he would take, that's no reason to unalive the man, to take him off the face of the earth. You know, we're all entitled to our opinions, our preferences, and our beliefs. You know, and he was very vocal about his. I'm going to be very honest with you. Nobody has said this up until now. I haven't heard anybody say this, but I believe him being close to Trump and involved with Trump is part of the reason why he was assassinated today. You know, they can't get to him, so they have Charlie Kirk out there, who's an advocate of Trump. You know, he was very vocal during election to get the voters in there to vote for him and stuff, and very supportive to Trump's ideology. Okay, and although a lot of people agree with Trump and everything he does, a lot of people don't. You know, I've never seen so much unrest in the United States than I do now in all the years that I've been alive and I've been on this planet. You know, and you know, we have the military out in different cities and National Guard, and you know, our military and the National Guard weren't made to police us. They're part of the military branch, to protect the entire city, the entire United States, the entire country, not to go in and it's like the United States is becoming a police state, you see all of the people that are in the streets marching and protesting a lot of what Donald Trump is doing. And I'm not just talking about illegal immigrants or families to illegal immigrants, just regular Americans, And then on the other hand, you have people who disagree with them, the right wing, and they're entitled to feel the way they feel and believe the way they believe and want things the way they want them. And so is the left wing, I don't see it, man. Like, why would you go and remove somebody off the face of the earth, a father of two children and the husband, to his wife, and he's a family man. Dude was 31 years old. He had most of his life still ahead of him. And somebody decided to take him down, Anyways, I really believe that it has a lot to do with, like I said earlier, him being associated with Trump. Politics is a dangerous business. Politics is usually what causes problems in prison. That's like a little world in itself. With its politicians and its leaders and people who politic, and it could become very dangerous. And I think this young man, even though he had some lightweight security out there, didn't realize the hatred that some people carry. I actually seen some videos where some liberals were actually laughing, and they actually were rejoicing that dude had gotten shot. That's kind of cold. Like, everybody's entitled to think and feel and say what they want. That's what makes this country a great country. And I was actually going to do a video about kind of the same subject, about some comments that some podcasters made, saying that your own raza could be haters and toxic. And I've heard so many people use that term, crabs in a bucket. Like, you climb over somebody's back to try to come up because somebody thinks different of you or thinks contrary to your beliefs. That doesn't mean that he's hating on you. That means that he feels different than you. He believes different than you. When you start taking it in those terms, saying that it's hate brings on a whole different action, like what happened to this man. Whoever did that was really hating on this man. Yeah, that was hate. But when the raza does a reaction video or reacts to something that somebody said or said that they believe, or whatever their reason is, that they just are disagreeing with you, that doesn't mean that they're hating on you or trying to take your place or that they're jealous. And all that rhetoric, that's hateful to say, to make comments like that. I really don't feel no hate towards anybody on YouTube. I don't. Well, one guy I really don't like, at all. But other than him, I don't really have that kind of disdain for anybody. They're just doing their thing. I might not agree with what they do or what they say, and if I don't, hey, I'm gonna speak on it. Uh, I'm not the one that created this platform. Well, my platform, yeah, but these platforms that do reaction videos. I learned that coming onto YouTube, and that's why it takes place. That's why people do it. So I don't know about my whole entire race being hateful or toxic, or only my race doing it, because we do have a few individuals that are that way. They're in every race. They're just part of the human race, and there's some people that are like that and think like that, and feel like that. Obviously, you've seen what happened with Charlie Kirk. Took it to another level, though. That's sheer hatred. Anyways, rest in peace, Charlie Kirk. Even though his politics were different than what I lean to, and condolences to his family. And yeah, this guy's gonna get caught. It might take a while. I don't know how they do it. I don't know how the government does it now, man. But they always seem to be able to find out who did what from where. I don't know, man. Not law enforcement, but like the detectives and like the FBI and stuff. They've come a long ways to solving crimes, and I believe this guy's gonna get brought in, and when he does, I'm sure President Trump is gonna make sure that the judge gives him everything possible, and which probably be if he doesn't get the death sentence, then they'll probably put him in some lockup as a terrorist, But anyways, this kind of bullshit even happens on YouTube. We've seen people go out and those cholos or whatever homie calls them, goes out and takes a podcaster out because of something he said, or something he believes in. But then again, the gang world is much different than our political world. But yeah, man, I don't know. I think if they could have gotten Trump, they would have went after Trump, and they've already tried to assassinate that man twice. They last time is when they got him in the ear, but yeah, he that man's life is most definitely in danger, and whatever is going on in people's heads, I know there's a few people out there that would like nothing better than to do something bad to that man, and that's all. I don't agree with a lot of things Trump does, but man, I wouldn't go out and sniper that fool. Like, that's crazy. That's taking things to that hatred level. So, anyways, I just thought I'd share this video, and rest in peace, Charlie Kirk, and like I said, condolences to his family. Thank you for watching. God bless you and your family, and I hope to see you on the next video. Stay free, people.